I have watched the movie Norbit more times than I can count in my youth, and most recently in adulthood, I have a fixation on this movie like no other. It wasn't until my 20th watch through within this year alone that something finally clicked in my brain. Norbit is not a comedy. It is a psychological horror. Hi, my name is Pyrus, and I have a ton of niche interests that those closest to me are tired of hearing about, so I created an entire series on YouTube for the sole purpose of yapping. Intros out of the way, today we're going to discuss the certified hood classic, Norbit.
Norbit.
Norbit!
Norbit!
Now, before we go completely off the wall, please understand that this video is best watched by someone who's at least seen the movie or knows about it, because right now I don't possess the capacity to recap this black culture classic. Well, I mean, I guess I could, albeit briefly. The film Norbit at face value is a story about a plus-size woman who bullies her nerdy pushover husband to the point of him running into the arms of a prettier, skinnier woman. The film is chock full of fat jokes, a surface-level, cheap sort of humor, and has banger one-liners delivered by some of comedy's most noted comics, like Cat Williams and the star of this movie, Eddie Murphy. I have no commentary on this movie being dubbed Eddie Murphy's worst film. I do, however, have some thoughts on the underlying themes present in the film. Retracting the humor, Norbit is a movie about a young man who comes from a background of being literally dumped at an orphanage as a baby. And if we remove the comedic way that this is presented, it is not only sad, but horrific. This newborn was tossed out of a moving car window. At that age, Norbit would have had some sort of injury from this traumatic life event, and I suspect that this may contribute to Norbit's inferred mental delay. In the black community, when someone has a disability that can hinder cognitive function, it is not addressed. Instead, the family and the members of the community band together with this sort of unspoken understanding that this member of the community will be protected and extended grace. For me, in my small town, it was duty, and nobody was gonna fuck with duty. That is to say that it would not be uncommon if Norbit's mental delay was never specifically addressed or stated in the film. I believe Murphy hoped that this fact would be understood among people that come from similar backgrounds, or the black audience that would eventually consume this film. With this firmly in mind, the film already takes a drastic turn. The movie follows Norbit as he experiences trauma at the hands of his childhood companion and eventual wife, Rasputia. It is upon meeting her that his life takes a turn for the worse, as Rasputia subjects him to constant gaslighting, verbal and physical abuse, as well as being made to witness animal abuse. The film relies on humor to mask the reality of the severity of the abuse that Norbit lives through, and these themes can be easily missed due to the outrageous comedy that is present in the film. One example is the antagonist's existence, Rasputia. Rasputia's weight is the butt of many jokes in the film and is a cause of most of the controversies that come up when discussing this film. The film is fatphobic. Period. This aspect is blaring, and upon a surface level watch, the film can be taken just as this: a plus size woman who fits the stereotype of being big and nasty, both literally and figuratively. Rasputia is horrid to everyone she associates with apart from her older brothers, and is highly skilled in manipulation. She is also a glutton and has many scenes where she refers to food or is chowing down. If we strip away the weight of the film, which is the comedy and, funnily enough, the weight aspect of the film, this movie can be viewed as a psychological horror or tragedy. In this video, we will be briefly going over 3 scenes to highlight key points where I feel that this film is downright scary given the context that we just discussed. This scene at face value is comedic. It's clear that the seat was not adjusted and Rasputia's just been gaining weight as a result of her continued eating. Instead of accepting this fact, she blames her husband Norbit. Hilarious. Now, take away the humor from it. This scene is a masterclass on gaslighting, which is a form of psychological abuse that involves manipulating someone into questioning their reality. Here, Rasputia attempts to gaslight Norbit, and when he pushes back with the truth that he did not adjust the seat and that what she said is not science, she hits him. Right here, she's making it clear to Norbit that what she says goes, and if you do not agree with me, you will face my wrath. That's terrifying. It's also downright horrific once you take into account Norbit's potential mental delay. I'm going to remove the comedic aspects from the film and add some music in the background, and I want you to tell me what you think.
God damn it, Norbit, how many times I got to tell you when you drive my car, don't adjust my seat?
I haven't touched your seat.
Then why is it up so damn far?
It looks like it's back as far as it goes, Rasputia.
No, you moved it, I can tell. That scientifically proved that you was adjusting my seat.
That's not science.
It is, and just let it go.
It's not science.
I said let it go.
I'm just
I
thinking.
thought it was science, goddamn.
What's Rasputia doing home so early? Rasputia! Hey,
Oh, yeah, girl, come on, go there. Okay, now get up there. Get up there. Go, girl. Oh, get up on that.
this scene, Rasputia is caught cheating by Norbit, and instead of being apologetic, she outright denies it, despite being caught, despite Norbit seeing it with his own 2 eyes. It is also interesting to note that Buster, the person Rasputia is cheating with, also attempts to gaslight Norbit.
I'm Buster Move Perkin. How you doing? Man, your wife was just talking about you, man. She love you.
You're Rasputia's tap dance teacher.
Man, actually, I'm her power tap guru. I was just here giving her a little tap lesson.
Belittling his intelligence as someone with a potential mental delay. It is also in this scene where we see Rasputia's behavior escalate. Where previously she struck Norbit in private, in their car, she openly chases him now into oncoming traffic in an attempt to catch him and physically abuse him. This scene is heartbreaking once he removed the comedy aspect. Despite Rasputia being horrible to him, Norbit still loved her, and in scenes after this one, he is detached and completely resentful towards Rasputia.
Nobody touched your old stupid seat.
Then why folk come and all mushed up like this then?
Well, you know, Rasputia, you've been eating so much lately. There's a very strong possibility that...
Before we get to the final scene, I thought it was worthy to note the scene of Rasputia purposely hitting her neighbor's dog with her car while Norbit was in the passenger seat. This scene being completely removed from the lens of comedy is scary and I argue is downright chilling, even with the presence of Murphy's comedic timing. Norbit is helpless in the passenger seat and is made to watch Rasputia hunt down his dog friend. Rasputia has to know, after their years of marriage, that this dog is one of Norbit's only outlets to vent, so this act, while violent, is also incredibly spiteful. Rasputia attempts to remove Norbit's little friend as a way to further isolate him. The final scene we will address is the one where Norbit returns from an outing with his childhood friend / crush, Kate, after kissing her in the heat of the moment, and Rasputia catching a glimpse of them as she prowled downtown looking for him in that pussycat mobile. Rasputia waits up for Norbit and after pressing him for further information, throws him out of the front window. This is already a bad situation for Norbit, and it's made worse when she threatens him by pouring acid over a potato that is meant to represent Kate.
What's this?
It looks like the acid that we used down at the quarry.
Right. But this is Miss Pretty Little Thing's little face. And Norbit, if you ever see her again, if you ever talk to her again, if you ever so much as think about the bitch again, this is what's gonna happen to her. How you doing? You get the picture, Norbit?
Norbit at this point has seen what Rasputia is capable of. He has experienced her escalation when she hit the dog with her car and chased him down the street and now threw him out the window. Norbit's fear here is valid, as the next step for an abuser would be to harm those you care about or to further isolate him. And Rasputia does further isolate him. After this scene, she locks Norbit up in the basement. It's a madhouse. Apart from key scenes, I'd like to quickly add that Norbit's ending credits song being Looking For You by Kirk Franklin further drives home the message of surviving his marriage with Rasputia, and in that same vein, finding happiness after experiencing years of abuse. The song begins with this. I've been down for so long, I've been hurt for so long, there were times I never thought I'd see the break of day. It was hard for me to see your plan for me, and I tried to believe surely it won't last always. But night after night, night after night, I prayed, Lord, don't take your joy away from me. Then late one night, I read your love letter that it's gonna get better. Looking For You is a song that has an upbeat tempo, and the choir sings the somber lyrics with joy. This is a direct reflection of how Murphy portrayed the abuse Norbit suffered in the movie with comedy. There is a mindset that unless there is a comedic payoff, there is no point in expressing the validity that is Black American trauma. This concept is at play in movies like Norbit, as well as popular Tyler Perry films. Alongside heartbreaking tales of family tragedy, betrayal, and violence, there is always a character or a theme to soften the blow so that the feeling doesn't get too real for the Black audience, and so that other audiences can laugh at the pain. For Norbit, it's Rasputia, and for most of Tyler Perry films and plays, it's Medea. In the Black community, there is a culture of laughing at the pain, but that pain is never truly dealt with. It's stopped at the laughter. You see, with movies like Norbit, you are made to laugh in spite of the seriousness of Norbit's ongoing abuse and isolation. It is the existence of laughter that halts the ability for further thought or healing in the Black community. Instead of confronting the issue, we laugh it off as a coping mechanism because historically, black bodies, black thoughts, and black stories are not given the same empathy as other groups of people. To pile on, this historic aspect also attributes to how audiences consume black media and highlight the extent of empathy that they are willing to extend to these fictional characters. Many popular black films either depict a shade of black history, with slavery reenactments, key civil rights moments, or gang violence. Furthermore, a lot of black cinema is also comedy. This paradox of somber and joy being married together speaks volumes about the black American experience. This is also why I am deeply enthralled anytime I see black people in media that is apart from these two genres, like fantasy. I loved seeing actresses and actors like Jacob Anderson in Interview with the Vampire, or Halle Bailey as Ariel in Little Mermaid, or Steve Toussaint as head of the Valerian household in House of the Dragon. Directors like Jordan Peele deserve their flowers for being pioneers in their professions, for finally including us in the narrative without being subjected to borderline torture. Norbit being overlooked due to comedy is intentional and was a test in empathy given to Murphy's audience. Norbit was a way for Murphy to call out the black community for not taking abuse within our own community seriously, specifically abuse against black men, while making you guilty of the same thing through comedy. In a way, this movie is a means to view the black experience authentically. We all laughed at the one-liners instead of addressing the main plot point of this film. That's genius to me. But I want to know what you think in the comments below. So tell me your thoughts about Norbit. Have you ever seen the movie? And if you have seen the movie, I want to know if you're getting what I'm saying or not. Honestly, I'm open to any ideas and perspectives. I have been Pyrus, and I hope you have a wonderful night or day wherever you are in this. You want to see a bitch go down a slide?
I'm gonna show you how a bitch go down a slide.
See ya.